Hello everyone and welcome back to At Home with the Moons. I am redressing, I'm going back in time, I'm taking my building apprenticeship and I've been under the wing of Simon and he's going to describe what we've been up to, the process behind restoring this beautiful stone wall.
Right, okay.
Over to you, Simon.
Over to me. Well, obviously we've got to rake it very deep, yeah, because we're going to point and have it all facing rather than flush like most of them do. So we've raked it right deep, cleaned it thoroughly out, and we've hosed it down last night and today to get the wall nice and damp so that the lime will stick to it rather than going onto a dry wall and then not sticking and falling out. Basically, that is it.
And now we're on to mixing the lime up, and there is a certain technique to that. So we've done a 3-to-1 mix, isn't it?
We're doing a 3-to-1 mix. We mix it. This is hydraulic lime that we use in France. So we mix it up dry first for 15 to 20 minutes. That's the best way of doing it. A lot of people don't do that, but that's the best way. Mix it dry, let it stand, and then when you go to mix it, mix a little bit of water at a time until it gets to the consistency. A lot of people find that if you're mixing with lime and they mix it all up at once, it falls apart and comes apart. It's because it's not dry mixed first. So if you mix it dry, let it stand, it'll be beautiful to work with. So
it's just like, it's like baking in the kitchen. There's a certain order to do things, but this is the proper way. I think it's going to look really stunning. So we're going to get on with it. So we're just discussing the process, and I was asking Simon, has it actually started doing anything? What is happening here? Because it's a dry mix, as we mentioned. What is the process? What's the method behind it? Why are we doing this?
Well, it helps it mix a lot better. Lime, like I say, this is a hydraulic lime. But if you mix it up dry and leave it to stand for a little while, it just all starts binding together. Yeah, it just... You'll understand when you're mixing and you use it, it's a lot easier to use.
And it would be difficult, like you said, if we didn't do this, and it is a little bit of time-consuming process, but it's the correct way of doing it. If we just mixed it up, it would be a different consistency.
Yeah, it just tends to fall apart. When you put it on the board or whatever, you see the water come out of it and it splits apart. But if you do it this way, it's
not homogenised, that's the word.
That's the one, yes. Yeah.
All together. So now we're going to get this mix out, and then we're very slowly going to put some back in. So we just use, like Simon said, I think it's really important just making what you need to use. So we can leave it dry on the floor, but then we'll add a little bit of water to get just the perfect.
Yeah, we'll mix half of it out, and just mix half at a time.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So it's been mixing now for a while, and now it's proving, so it's just like putting the dough to one side, let the magic happen, and then we're going to get it on the wall. Here we are, we're at the first wall, and I use the word we very liberally because Simon has worked his wonders on this wall. And to get to this effect is very painstaking, but I think you'll agree truly worth it. There are a few finishing touches, so we need to clean the fronts of the stone. Originally, it would have been plastered, as we said, it would have that even coat over the top. And Simon will explain just a little bit of the detail of what he's done, the techniques he's used to really bring the stones out of the wall, given the fact that it was an internal wall and it should have been covered in plaster. So I'm going to hand you over to the master himself. I've been entrusted to go ahead of the job and do the clearing and the cleaning out of all the joints, which is the first bit in the preparation, which you might have seen earlier on. But now we're going to get into the good stuff, so I'll hand you over. This is the midway point, so once we've done all the raking out and then Simon's filled it, Simon then goes around with his very, very skillful hands and gets it how we want it to look when it's finished. And as you can see at the moment, he's just scratching off any proud bits. But as we mentioned, I'll let Simon explain just why this wall is such a challenge. Simon, why is this wall such a challenge?
Such a challenge. With being an inside wall, I feel possibly that this was built to be plastered.
Yeah.
Because on a face wall outside, they're much flatter and everything's tipped. So if you pointed it like you would normally on the outside, you'd lose much of the stones. But because you want a feature wall,
yeah,
what we're doing is we're cutting it back,
yeah,
to outline every single stone, which isn't the sort of thing you would do on the outside of a building, no. But inside, that's the effect you're after.
And
that's what we're trying to do.
It's massively time consuming, but it's so rewarding because that's exactly it. You know, we're going for that effect, and that is what takes the skill and the time. So, as Simon said, on an exterior wall, it would be much flatter. It's a lot easier, and you kind of just brush it off afterwards, exposing a lot less of the stone itself. But just cutting it back and rubbing it down really just accentuates all those lovely features which were, as we know, hidden for many, many years. Not only behind the old fibre plaster with that horsehair, the traditional methods, but behind that very modern plasterboard. Can't wait to see the finished product. Thank you, Simon. No problem. We're in the final furlong, we're definitely getting there, and I've boxed myself into a bit of a corner here. I've got that bit of stonework to finish off to prepare the first stage, that raking out. And then Simon's going to come along and do his thing. But clearing that wall was a very messy job. And yes, I lost that moon, but that was only really just to have a sneaky peeky at what was behind. And it is those lovely bricks, of course, that run the entire length of the wall. And I think the contrast is going to work so well in this area. You get the redness of those bricks offset against that lovely stone and all that pointing, all the work that's gone in. And it is very higgledy-piggledy, everything about this house. You've got the door just to the other end, which is a lot larger, and this one's smaller. It's got a more modern piece of wood just stuck on the top, and we need to even it up. We need to get everything so it works. That is a real challenge in these old buildings, just getting it to look as much as it can be as it once would have been. And I guess it is that reward you get from that, because when you finally pull it off, we can have this feeling that you get from an old property, but in the modern day. And it's been really, really great to get to this stage. I can't wait to share the finished article with you guys. If you haven't had enough of us already, you can check out our other channel where it's all about the animals, the legends we have here, and everything that goes on outside. So until next time, I'm going to say, stay magical, and we'll see you then.